Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. In today's video, we are going to look at how you can perform descriptive statistics in SPSS. We have done that already in how to do it in Microsoft Excel, but we are going to focus on how to perform the same statistics in SPSS. If you haven't checked it out on this channel, check the description section of this video so that you can receive or you can get access to the video on how to perform the same statistics in Microsoft Excel. So let's launch our SPSS data. So basically, descriptive statistics is an important analytical technique which is used to present a data to make it meaningful. In the field of statistics, it involves three or even let's say three main categories. You can have what you call the measure of central tendency. You can have measure of position. You can have measure of dispersion, and all these measures are just used to summarize and analyze raw data to make it meaningful and presentable. So let's look at how we can perform these statistics on our raw data in an SPSS. So here shown here are just raw data for different variables. So I have here what I have coded as age. We have the MOF. I think this one stands for the mode of finance. We are not going to focus on it. We are just going to look at how you can perform the statistics on selected variables among these. So we have program, we have MAC, we have depression, we have stress and anxiety. These are different variables and these are their raw data. So you're going to just randomly choose some of these raw data and perform descriptive statistics on them independently. So to begin with the statistics, so we have the data view where we have the raw data. We have the variable view where we have the properties of the variable as we described earlier in our previous video. So to perform the statistics on any of the variables, the first thing to do is to choose or go to the menu bar and select or click on analyze. Then from the analyze, you choose what you call the descriptive statistics. Now from the pop-up menu, you have two options which are very relevant for the description of your data. So we have the frequency option, which is the most important or the most commonly used. I normally use the frequency because it gives you more options to be able to describe more of the data. We can have the descriptives too. So all these two options all perform the description of your data, but as I said earlier, the frequency gives you more options, or there's an advanced option than the so you're going to perform each of them. So let's first choose the descriptive. So if you want to just perform, let's say, a short or a small description of the data, you have to choose descriptive. But if you want to perform, maybe say, a large description of data, you have to choose the frequencies. You only first start with the descriptive. So when you click on the descriptives from the pop-up menu, this is what appears. So I think I have this one already in the variables. So shown here are the variables that are shown here. So we have the variable age, the MOF, the program, we have MACD, depression, stress and anxiety. These are the different variables shown in the data view of your SPSS spreadsheet. So which of these variables do you want to perform the description on? So maybe I just want to choose, I want us to choose two. So with the two, I want us to choose the depression and the stress. If you have different variables you want to perform on all of them, you can do the same procedure for all of them. So I just want us to choose, let me even choose three. So I want to perform the description on, let's say, the age, the depression level and the stress level of let's say this data. So the first thing to do is you click on the variables that you want and transfer them into the variables menu or the variable box. So you click on it, you either maybe press and or hold drag to the box, or you can just click on it and direct it to this using the arrow. Now these are the variables that I want us to perform the description on. Having chosen this, now you come to the options menu. This one gives you selection of options that you may be interested. So we have what we call the mean, the sum, the standard deviation, we have the variance, we have the range, we have the minimum have the maximum and the standard error mean. So these are just few description of your data. So if you choose the description menu from the descriptive statistics, it just gives you this. So which of them do you want to, use? Do you want the standard deviation, the mean, the minimum, the maximum, or whatever? So the one that you are interested in, just check it out. So we have the skewness, which gives an idea of more the distribution of data. We have the ketosis. So check the ones that you are interested in, then you click continue. So from here, you can just click on OK. And when you click on OK, you're going to have this pop-up menu. So this menu is just an output of SPSS that presents a description of all the variables that you chose. So when I chose the variable, which is the age, the depression, and the stress. So from there, we have the various descriptions. So we have the range, we have the minimum, we have the maximum, we have the sum, we have the mean, the standard error mean, and the statistical mean itself, the deviation, the variance, the skewness, and the keto. So these are just few description of the individual variables, the age, the depression, and the stress. So that's how to perform a short description of data in SPSS. The other way around is to choose the frequency data or the frequency option, which gives you a more advanced option to perform and even add figures or let's say diagrams to your description. So in the same, we are going to follow the same procedure and choose the frequency option. So come back to the data. Don't forget the output always comes in a different document. So come back to the data and click on analyze again on the menu bar and choose descriptive. That's the next way of performing description. If you want to go by the frequency option, then you choose the frequency. So when you choose the frequency, this one gives you a more advanced option. So as shown here, we have a variable stress here, you have the depression here in the variable. We have already transferred them. Then we have the age. So let's transfer the age also to the variable box. So we have these three variables. You can choose any variable of your choice. So for us, it is numerical. You can perform the description on it. So we come to the descriptive statistics. Then we check out the ones that you want. So one advantage here is the occurrence of the quartiles, the cutoffs, the percentiles, which is absent in the descriptive option. We can add also percentiles. To the percentiles, you have to add the individual percentile that you want. So I want to add the 25th percentile. It's already here. You can add, let's say, the 50th percentile, which is just like the mean. So when you type in the box, then you click on add. Maybe I want to add the 75th percentile. You type in the box, then click on add. You can add any percentile you want. Let's say 85th percentile of each variable. Then you click on add. So with that, like that, then you check all the ones that you want. So I've checked all the boxes because of the study purposes. So then I click on continue. Now you come to charts. So the charts is where you can insert figures or diagrams for your data. So do you want no chart? Then you click on none. If you want bar charts, you can click on bar charts to check it. If you want pie charts, click on pie charts. If you want histogram, click on histogram. So histogram allows you to show a normal distribution curve for how the data is distributed for each variable. So I want us to choose histogram for study purposes. Then you check in for the show the normal distribution curve on histogram for each of the variable, and that is going to give us a curve to know how the values are distributed in each variables, and also help us to predict the skewness of the data. Then you click on continue. Now from here, I think the other ones are not really important. After checking these two, then you click on OK. Okay, so you have the same sheets. The first sheet's output sheet is for the first one that we did, which is the descriptive statistics. Then the second one is for the frequencies. Now here you can just move from one part of the sheet to the other. So I want us to come to frequencies. Come to frequencies. Now this is the frequencies. So these are the statistics of the data of the various variables. We have the stress, we have the depression, we have the age. Each of these are just the same as the one we performed in the descriptives. We can have again the statistics of the individual variables. So we can have that of depression, which is shown here, where we get the frequency of each variable in the raw data. We can have the percentiles or the percent of each variable in the raw data. We can have the valid percent, this is a percentile, valid percent. We can have the cumulative frequency percent, cumulative percent of each of the values in each variable. Just like we have for the depression, we have the same thing for the stress too. That gives us the individual frequency, the percent, the valid percent, then the cumulative percent of the individual data in the the values of for each variable. Then we have the same thing for the age. So we have the frequency gives a description, the percentage of each of the of the variables together with the collective description as shown here. That is one advantage of the frequency option over the descriptives option. The next one is the histogram. So this is the histogram as shown here. This is a histogram for the values of the depression, and as shown here, this distribution is more like a normal distribution where most of the values are accumulated in the middle. So this histogram shows that the most of the values for the depression are accumulated in the middle. We can have the histogram for the stress, the same thing, which shows that most of the values are also accumulated in the middle. Then we have that of the age, which is also very important, showing that most of the values is a proper normal distribution curve. That shows that most of the values are also in the middle. One advantage for the histogram for each of them too is that it also gives you an idea of the mean, the standard deviation, and the number of items for each variable. So that is shown here. So this one is where we have the mean, the standard deviation, and the number of items for each variables. You can even perform some small editing on it. So you can edit it to insert maybe the values for each of the data. So when you come here, when you right click and select the audit, you can click on the show data label. So you can click on that, and that shows the data. So that shows the data label for each of the values shown here. So when you come here, you can just close it, and you will insert. You have the data label for each of the bars inserted. So that's just a simple way of performing descriptive statistics in SPSS. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and share after watching so that you can receive every bit of update that we put on this channel. Thank you.